Yo, what's up guys? It's King Sean here, back with another video, and in today's video, I'll be talking about the comments Brandon Aiyuk made today on the Pivot podcast. The new episode of the Pivot podcast with Brandon Aiyuk just dropped about an hour or two ago. Watched it, and he made some comments on, potentially getting traded to the Washington Commanders. So that's what we will be discussing in today's video. If you guys are new to my channel, leave a like down below, subscribe, turn on notifications. I'm on the 4K subs. If you could hit that sub button, I'd really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's get straight into the video. Alright, so like I said in the intro, Brandon Aiyuk was on the Pivot podcast. The new episode just dropped today. And, he talked about his contract situation with the 49ers. Those talks, obviously the 49ers still haven't paid him yet. Didn't show up to mandatory minicamp because he wants that extension and he deserves an extension. He talked about today, uh, you know, if the 49ers do not bring him back, he would love to play with a quarterback like Jaylen Daniels. Obviously, Jaylen Daniels, close friends. They go back to their ASU days back in 2019 when Jaylen Daniels was a freshman, starting quarterback as a freshman at ASU, and then Brandon Aiyuk was a senior. He talked about how he thinks about playing with a quarterback like Jaylen Daniels. He said there's a quarterback right there. I'm thinking on what I can do with him if the 49ers do decide to move on from Brandon Aiyuk and trade him here or else or somewhere. The Commanders with Jaylen Daniels, that's a spot he's looking to. He even said, let me see if I can pull up the tweet right here. He even said another thing. He said, I'm pretty sure Ryan Clark asked him this. Where does he see him playing week one? What uniform does he see him, suiting up in week one? And Aiyuk said, probably a Niner uniform. If not a Niners uniform, probably a Washington Commander uniform. And if not a Washington Commander uniform, probably a Steelers uniform. Let's ignore the Steelers part real quick. He said after the Niners, and he wants to play with the Niners. The Niners, obviously, the team that drafted him. They just made it to the Super Bowl. They just went to the Super Bowl. Obviously, didn't win it, but they're a Super Bowl team. They're a playoff team. They got great pieces. They got a great quarterback in Brock Purdy, CMC, George Kittle, Debo Samuel. So they got a lot of weapons over there. They got a pretty solid defense. So why wouldn't Brandon Aiyuk want to be in San Fran? He just wants the money that he deserves, and he deserves the money that he thinks he deserves. And I feel like that's probably like $28+ million per year, probably $30+ million per year, and he deserves that because Amon-Ra St. Brown, he got $30 million per year. Jalen Waddle, he got $28 million per year. Justin Jefferson, he got 35. AJ Brown, 32. So he deserves that money in my opinion. The 49ers should pay him that money. And I feel like trading Brandon Aiyuk right now would only decrease the 49ers chances of making it back to the Super Bowl again, because I feel like Brandon Aiyuk, he's better than Debo Samuel. Although Debo Samuel is more their gadget guy, I feel like Brandon Aiyuk is a better pure wide receiver than Debo Samuel is. But yeah, it is interesting that Aiyuk said this. I did not expect him to come out and say all this. Obviously, they asked him a good amount of questions about potentially going to Washington. In fact, Jaylen Daniels was actually in the room while they were interviewing Aiyuk. Ryan Clark even reported on that about a couple of days ago, 2 to 3 days ago, that Jaylen Daniels was in the room when they were interviewing him on the Pivot podcast. So that's pretty cool right there. And obviously, Brandon Aiyuk referred to Jaylen Daniels a couple of times. They're boys, they're friends. So they go way back, like I said, to ASU days. So, it makes sense why Brandon Aiyuk said, it will be great to play with Jaylen Daniels, who's obviously a great friend of his and a great player as well, great teammate. So yeah, now is it gonna happen? Probably not. I mean, I'm pretty sure Brandon Aiyuk went live on IG today. He was pulling up to the 49ers facility. Pretty sure he's going to start working back out. I'm pretty sure he actually said that on the Pivot podcast that he's going to start working out again at the 49ers facility. So he's probably not going to get traded anytime soon, in my opinion. I remember my last video, I even talked about how, us and the 49ers discussed a potential trade with Brandon Aiyuk. And we just didn't accept the deal the 49ers offered, I guess. They offered us a deal, and we just didn't accept it. They maybe would have been offering us too much, or maybe we, wanted to wait and see how Brandon Aiyuk's market would be, later on in time, maybe in the summertime, or maybe before the season started. we probably will never know what they offered us, but maybe we will. We shall see. But I don't think Brandon Aiyuk will get traded. If we do, I feel like if he does get traded, it will probably be at the trade deadline or sometime before the trade deadline. Maybe Adam Peters. Maybe we're in a really good spot. Maybe we have a good record or playing really good, and we feel like Brandon Aiyuk could just elevate us as a team, and we might decide to go out there and trade it for him before the trade deadline or at the trade deadline. We'll see. Or we might decide to let him be a 49er for this final season. And then if the 49ers don't franchise tag him next offseason, he walks in free agency and we could potentially sign him. So we shall see what happens. But I don't see Brandon Aiyuk getting traded right now. But comment down below whether or not you think Brandon Aiyuk will get traded and if the Washington Commanders should trade for Brandon Aiyuk if he does become available. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a like down below. Subscribe, turn on notifications. Like I said, on the road to 4K subs. If you could, hit that sub button. I'd really appreciate it. And other than that, it's been K-Sean, and I'm out. Peace.